Howdy folks, Richard Johnson here, welcome to Well of Tanks. This is a review of the AMX 1375. Since I did one about the IS, I thought why not do one about the AMX 1375 also. I can tell you that it is a tier 7, or it says 7 tier light tank, should have been opposite maybe, tier 7 light tank. It's a French of course, maybe all of you know it. And you can find it in a tech tree here, after the AMX 12T and before the AMX 1390, the last of the light tanks for the French. After that you have a Lorraine 40 ton, which is a medium tank, and you have then the Batchat 25 ton or 25T, which is a tier 10 medium tank. Alright, so the AMX 1375 is second to last of the light tanks, but many think that AMX 1375 is a bad tank, but I say they are wrong. They don't just can't play it right. The AMX 1375, or kind of all the French light tanks, such as the AMX 12T also and the ELC, well, the ELC doesn't have a fully rotatable turret, but still, they have a very bad gun depression. These tanks are, how to say it, not that great at gun performance, or more or less turret handling. We can check that up in Tank Inspector soon, but I mean, if we are comparing, it's hard to say it now actually, but let's take out the new light tanks. We have the Chinese. Well, they had the WZ-131. The WZ-131 doesn't have the best gun depression either, but it has a very low profile with a sturdy turret. That thing is quite good, actually very good at bouncing. Sure, it doesn't have the thickest armor, but it is very sloped all around, which you can see on the French tank. It's very flat surfaces, and it's quite big actually. The British, they have, let's see where, tier 7, they don't have a tier 7 light tank, but they had a Comet, and the Comet is actually kind of a little spotting tank also. And the Comet is extremely good, very high performance in both turret and gun, turret, gun, and engines and traverse speed, so to say. Americans, they have tier 7 light tanks. They have the M41 Bulldog and Walker Bulldog, and they have the T71. The T71 is it has APCR as standard ammunition for its gun. It has two versions. One is autoloader and one is that's autoloader also. Anyway, it has two autoloaders, but it fires armor piercing composite rigid APCR as standard ammunition, which is a little extra bonus for the tank. Very fast tank also. But yeah, we find, as said, the AMX 1375 at rank 7, and what are the changes from the AMX 12T towards the AMX 1375? Well, the tank has one more higher level or tier, which gives it also a little bit more hit points. Power to weight ratio, it's kind of actually nearly the same, 20.37 horsepower per ton for the MX-12T and 19.55, so the T12T is a little bit more mobile, and as you can see it's a little bit smaller also, shorter and lower. Oh, oops, that's wrong. Shorter and lower. The guns is actually the same as the 12T. The best gun on the AMX 1375 is the same gun as on the AMX 12T. You see there. So a rank 6 gun with an average pen of 144 and damage of 135 isn't, so to say, good, but it is good enough. So you're not going to face 8, 9 and 10 heavies to the front and trying to penetrate them. There's kind of nearly no use at all, except for some special heavy tanks and so on that is very squishy. your object is more or less just to spot enemy tanks and stay alive. If some occasions like flanking them, disturbing them, trying to go around, firing in them at the rear or sides and so on, taking on tank destroyers with no turrets, kill enemy artillery or take out other light tanks. And that is why it's so good to have a magazine. If you have a full clip of magazine that is 6 shells, that is at least 600, sorry for that, 369, so that's at least 780 hit points, which is enough to take out a light tank of the same. That is enough to take out the light tanks of your same rank if you're penetrating every shell. Well, 900 hit points, and what did I said? 780, kind of. You need to have a good damage roll on them. It can do up to 170, so that's why you can take out the shell, an enemy tank. You can ram them also often. It's usually up to firing all the shells and ramming them once, and you're done. He's done. The radio is fantastic. It's a whole 750 meters, but since my crew is not like full 100%, it's only 717. Turret traverse speed is extremely fast, 46 degrees per second. Its chassis traverse speed is also quite fast, 40 degrees per second. AMX-12T only has 38, and ELC only has 38 also, so an AMX-1375 is better than the 5th and 6th tier light tanks. Top speed of 61 could have been a little bit higher, but due to the low horsepower of the tank and the weight, 61 is actually kind of enough. But you are not supposed to like drive over very large open areas, since it's not that hard actually to give a little bit lead with a gun to damage you or take you down. As I said, the engine power, if someone detracks you and you repair the tracks and drive away, it will take a little bit time to get up to your top speed and so on. Armor, as I said, is not the best, but sure, as I have bounced rank 7 and 8 tanks shells with just angling this little tank. The whole armor is 50 on this one and only 40 on the 1375. But still, if you angle the tank well enough, it will be enough if you angle it. But as I said, this tank is not for a close combat brawler. Those are what the heavies are up to. But sure, many players fight with the lights as heavy tanks or mediums. They like to go in and get XP by doing damage instead of spotting and assist damage. View range 390 is the base. I have an actual of 373 due to my crew. 390, that's actually kind of not so bad. Let's compare it with a rank 7 medium. I have my Panther, which has 380, and my Tiger of a 380 as well. My Jag Panther 370. Let's see, do we have any more rank 7s? We have the KV3 340 only, the IS 330, the premium TD 330. So the view range of the MX 1375 is actually extremely well. And if you have binoculars, stereoscopes, or if you have coated optics, you will have even more, so to say. Standard armor ammunition is AP, premium is APCR, standard high explosive as always nearly. 36 rounds means that you can have, what is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is it 6 magazines? 6 times 6, what is that? That is 36, yep, 6 rounds, 6 magazines. I often, when I play with my light tanks or drive them, I sometimes tend to shoot very many rounds at the enemies and so on during the battles. So I often fires all my shells. So sometimes at some battles I run out of ammunition. I have nothing left to do. Instead of like cap or distract them, or just run away and hide and wait for the team to win. But yeah, that's how I work when I am out of ammunition. So keep that in mind. You don't have lots and loads of ammunition that you can just throw away. But yeah, let's look at Tank Inspector and see what it gives us. Right, here we have it, the AMX 1375. Looks a little bit greasy when the lights are reflecting in it. Let's look at the collision model. It feels very soft, looks very soft, it is kind of very soft. The only advantage it has is that super sloped front plate. Well, I say super sloped, it's not that very super about it. It's still only 50 millimeters. But it can give you up to I said super sloped. It is kind of nothing. I mean 40 millimeters. It is 40 millimeters, and it can give you up to 60 if you angle it very well. So angle it very well if you can, and they won't be able to pen it. But that is it's not very easy to do. It takes loads of training. Sometimes it's not even worth the effort to try to angle the tank. The 50 millimeter strip is in the middle of the front, around where the upper glazes changes into the lower glazes. The lower glazes is kind of always a ricochet unless you're driving over a hill or over a crest, which will reveal your lower plate. I call it a stomach or chest, perhaps. 40 millimeters is also the complete turret front and the commander's hatch, but the driver and the commander's has a 0 millimeter thick viewports. You can see those parts over there and those parts over there. Spaced armor is 40 on the gun mantlet, nothing more than that. The gun mantlet is only the forward half of the so-called gun mantlet. This over here is not spaced armor, that is just standard cast iron 40 millimeters. Actually, I don't know if it's cast iron, but still, that's only the standard armor 40 millimeters. Upper plate of the entire tank, both the upper part of the chassis and the turret is only 10 millimeters. The side of the tank and the turret and the other part of the turret, the top, is only 20. You see it over here also. The rear is 15, and you can see that inside the turret ring, or where the turret traverses in the chassis, is also 20 millimeters. It has like a strip of that. It has 15 millimeters in the neck also of the turret, the neck ring, so to say, and yeah, the upper part of the tank is 10 millimeters. So this tank doesn't have any armor at all nearly, since it's facing tier 10 machines and all that. So you gotta be very aware of the of how you're driving your tank and what your parts you're showing and all that. Sure, you can make ricochets and all that in it, but it is extremely hard to do so. Let's view the details. You can see that if you're just looking at everything of the tank and all that, you can see that it isn't the best of its tier. But we can go through everything. Firepower, penetration, damage, DPM, module damage, reload time, rate of fire, maximum ammunition, caliber, shell velocity, average damage dealt, and average kill. That's what the players have based with it. Is lower. It is lower and very much lower than the average of everyone. Shells in the magazine 6, that's average of whatever the rank 7 light tanks have, and so is the magazine reload time, 2 seconds. This is versus the LT7. The maximum distance it can see is 720 meters. That is when it's stationary with binoculars, I would guess. But if you maybe that is also with binoculars and coded optics and a very good crew, you can get it up to 720 meters. I think so. Shell gravity, the gravity acceleration of the shell is I would say it's same, it's an average and a little bit better perhaps if it's blue than everyone else. 9.81 meters per square second. I don't know how they actually get all this information. The maneuverability, accuracy on the move is very high. I have noticed that it's actually very good. So is the while the gun is damaged, the circle spread. It doesn't like expand so much the aiming circle when a gun is damaged. Hit rate. This is based on 511,630 barrels. It has above average average hit ratio with it, and yeah, that's due to its so accuracy. I mean 0.345 in accuracy, that is very good, but sometimes players, and maybe myself also, isn't using that accuracy. They're firing too early, so it doesn't get like fully aimed. Mobility, as I said, specific power and all that. It's not the most mobile. What's the name of it? It's not the most mobile tank, but it's very fast in reverse, and on soft terrain it has good terrain resistance. Brake force is very good also, but yeah, maybe that's because it's not so fast and good and powerful. Health, it's the same, and health on the hull is a little bit better than any other tank, and the turret is a little bit worse than the other tanks. Ammo racks, fuel tanks, and radio, having those very well and very good against other tanks feels a little bit more safe. It feels like the ammunition is you're not gonna explode or set on fire very easily compared to other tanks. However, the gun surveying device, viewports, I would say, tracking engines are easy to take damage. Hull armor is very bad. The only good thing it has is tracks, 20mm. Engine chance on fire, 15% only. Germans have 20, some of the Russians have 12. I don't know what some of the Americans and all that is. Potential damage is very good also. This is what based on players. Economy, shell price, cheap. Shell price per damage, cheap. Average income, not so good compared to others. Repair costs and ammunition consumables, not so bad. So you're not risking to go minus so much when you're playing with this tank. Average weight matchmaker is same for all the others. Win rate, WN7 or WN8 PA and all that doesn't give it a very good rating. I don't know if that's just due to so many players have played the game with the tank and they are not performing so well with it, just because they're bad players, which will give it a bad stat. Which means that it is in that case hard to master, but it's fun to drive with. View range 390 meters only versus the LT7 only, which had 2 meters more, but as I said, 390 meters is actually very good. Signal range is kind of the maximum nearly. I don't know if it is any tank with higher than 750 meters. Camouflage values of the tank is very, very good, and even while moving. Average assist with spotting, detracking, all that is lower than average. But that is the tank, and I hope this has given you a little bit feeling of how well it is performing. So if you are thinking that it feels sluggish and so on, this will give you a confirmation that the tank is a little bit sluggish, but it's fast in reverse, and on soft terrains it performs kind of very well, and the brake force is very good. So I hope this gives you an idea of how the tank performs. Let's take it out for a test spin and see how I can perform in a tank live. Right, here we are at Mines, and it is an encounter battle. Damn it, my English sometimes. See if we can spot some enemies over here. Very fast, since I don't actually have anyone defending me or backing me up. Well, just because I said that TF-34 and ESU-152 or whatever it was, fire up out there. Alright, everything is spotted everywhere, kind of, except the pattern out there, but I don't wanna be alone facing up the pattern. Let's see if I can help them over here at the hill, perhaps. Artillery, very nice hit. Go for a reload. Took some damage there while driving into the T-54 and he reversed. Let's see if we can help around in the camp a little. As you notice, it is actually kind of very fast. It is actually kind of fast, but as soon as it gets on uphill, it slows down very fast. In a circle over there. Oops. Don't want to get shot, but whatever. Don't want to get shot from a FV215B. Switching position to help them at the hill. See if I will do anything about it. The lever is kind of soft. The E75 has only 76 HP, so maybe I can help him take down that one instead. The 54 is doing whatever he can. Pattern is slaying me. So I'm not gonna complain, but campers. I wanna spot that pattern, but can't remember where it was. But I also wanna get up on the hill and see if I can spot something from there, or get into the base. I don't wanna die if I say it like that instead. Fully reloaded clip. There's the pattern. Don't have 6 cents, so wait a little bit. I drive out in the bush if I can spot anything. Nope, I couldn't. Let's move back. I have 3 tank destroyers and 1 artillery hiding over there. So I'm thinking of driving back and rushing into the base, see if I can find artillery, perhaps standing at A1, so somewhere like that. Those T's must be very occupied with all the heavies and all that coming down from the camp. Let's go for Artyom. Sneaky by here.
If it's not one of us,
there he is. Right, everyone is up on the ridge.
Target equipment broken.
A good game, a very good game. I got some damage in there also, thanks to a very soft and lovely to take down Waffle Tractor 4. Set his fuel tank on fire, took out his tracks and all that. Good stuff, good stuff. Spotted the E100, T-54, Löwen, the Jag Panther 2. Nice. And due to that and the damage, I got third in place by XP, even though I didn't do so much. So those stats about the tank being a bad tank, I mean below average, that's due to mostly bad players just playing around. I mean, I've faced players or have players on my own team with 50k plus matches and all that, and having horrific stats and playing as total idiots in game. I sure think all of you has been experiencing that as well. 10 shots fired, 9 hits, 7 penetrated, 1088 damage, and 1181 assist damage. Sweet. 14.5k plus without premium and all that. You can see the repair cost and ammunition supply isn't very expensive, as it said, very cheap on resupply and repair. The XP, very nice, 2.2k, 2.3k nearly. If you're counting inwards with a free XP, it was 2.3k XP, very nice. Alright, we did a little bit less in the damage. Yeah, that was the AMX 1375. I hope you enjoyed my little review of it. I know I didn't compare it with other tier 7 light tanks, but I'll say that's up for you to do. I mean, I can decide, I can compare the tank with another tank and say, well, this tank is better than this tank in everything, but still. So, I mean, I can say it like that another tank is better than this tank in everything. So you should go for that, but maybe you perform bad in it, since you have to play it in a way that you are not familiar with or you are not like. So maybe this tank is very much suitable for different players. So that's why I say try out all of the light tanks if you can in tier 7 and decide which you like the most. I really like this AMX 1375, but it has some flaws like the gun depression and all that. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this little review, and leave a comment section in below what you think of it, or if you just don't want to type anything, just leave that thumbs up, which are helping me and making me smile. Favorite it if you want to, share it and all that. You know the drill, and stay tuned for more videos. But till the next video for whatever I make, take care, channel, and bye bye then.